Okay, with this, I think we end the vitamin story, and I still have a few minutes to say a few words about new nutrients. We cannot go into detail for the people who have courses from me in the second semester. There's a course on functional foods where we will go much more into detail about these new nutrients. But today, I would just like to give you a few general messages so that you at least know that these molecules exist, that they are present in foods, and that you understand why we do not have a clear recommendation for these molecules yet. And so these are the only groups of molecules for which we do not know how much we have to take them on a daily basis. And today I will try to highlight a little bit what are these major challenges to overcome that. So the first challenge is, you can see on this slide, there are many compounds. We're not talking about 10 vitamins, we're talking about almost 10,000 different components. 10,000. So it's really a lot. And we more or less start understanding the structure, how it looks like. We understand the families, but this number of compounds is far too high to be well investigated on an individual basis for each individual compound. So I give you an example for the polyphenols. We know more than 9,000 compounds. If you like red wine, then you will consume stilbenes. If you like black coffee, then you have hydroxycinnamic acids. If you like apples, then you have hydroxybenzoic acids. If you like vegetables, we have all types present in onions, in celery. We have them here in orange juice or just oranges, in tea, in legumes, in all types of berries. And all these compounds are different depending on the product that you consume. So here is a very important message that you already know from the nutrition guidelines. You need to have a very varied diet to consume all these different types of compounds. So if you would like to be optimally protected for health, you must eat all types of food groups in moderate amounts to have sufficient intakes of different types of bioactives. If you only drink coffee and for the rest no vegetables or fruits, you will only get a limited number of compounds in that are not sufficient to give you the overall health effect. I think that's the first message I want to bring to you. The second message, and don't worry about the formulas, but just remember the message. The second problem is that once these compounds enter into the human body, then they are completely converted. So you again have a whole set of bioconversion reactions. And on this slide, I show you one compound, doesn't matter which one it is, on the top. But you see that after bioconversion, we end up with 4 different compounds who are different from the first one. So if you analyze it in the foods, you're not 100% sure that this one is the active compound. We should analyze it once it is physically present in humans, and we should know which compound it is, because these other compounds have other activities than the starting compound in the beginning. That's the second message. So a lot of compounds, different families, and once you reach actually the body, they are converted. And if you look to all different individuals, then we also know that the conversion can differ from person to person. The third message is even more complex, so don't worry about the figure, but just remember the message. The conversion is different according to different organs in the human body. So if I convert it in the colon, I will convert it by bacteria. And these bacteria produce a whole set of metabolites that would be different than when the compounds is consumed and converted by the liver. So the place where the conversion takes place will determine the final end product. And this could be very different from organ to organ. That's message number 3. And then message number 4, which you can probably also understand, each person has a different degree of conversion. So if we look to the graphs here on the bottom, I think that illustrates it well. On the top, you can see the reactions of conversion. So it doesn't matter, these are individual conversion reactions. But if we look at these conversions at, let's say, 100 people, then you can see that on the left side of the graphs, nobody is converting, while on the right side of the graphs, everybody is converting. So you have some people which we call the converters. They are actually converting it into new compounds. And then we have the non-responders or the non-converters on the left who don't do anything with it. So the same product consumed by two different people can give you completely different compounds within the human body. So the bioactivity is strongly dependent on the individual. And that's message number 4. So I hope with this you know a little bit why it is so complicated to determine recommendations for these types of compounds. We're still fully examining what compounds these are, how they are converted, who is converting them, and where they are converted. So this is the big problem we face today. And then the final slide is a table that gives you all types of bioactives, which are already commercialized, so you can find them sometimes on the package of food products. But if we look to the evidence, which is the last column on the right side, it seems that not all these compounds are already very well investigated in literature. And for a plant sterol who reduces cholesterol, we more or less know that it has been clearly identified in humans. But if we go, for example, for conjugated linolenic acids, which is the lowest compound on the table, it might have some anti-carcinogenic effects, but it's not well demonstrated yet in humans. And so we still have a long way to go to really understand how all these bioactives could technically influence human health. And that is something that also in the follow-up course in the second semester will be discussed more in detail. With this, I think I came to the conclusion of today and also to the conclusion of all the theoretical lectures for this course. So this afternoon, we will have a feedback lecture. So for the ones who are participating, please bring your course notes with you. I will give you an update and a wrap up so that you have a little bit an idea with all the knowledge you have now on theory of human nutrition, how you can apply that, let's say, in daily practice.